To let you guys on a little secret, I actually work at a movie theater. I work at a Regal theater, and I started working there about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years now. And when I started beginning working there, I remember the movie being delayed. This movie was supposed to come out like in 2018. It was filmed in 2017. They were going to reshoot some stuff. There was like 50% of the movie was going to be reshot because they wanted to add more horror or less horror. I forget, because again, this movie has been through hell. Because at once 20th Century Fox, or now 20th Century Studios, got bought into Disney now, this movie just got put in a place where it's like, it might have got released, Disney Plus apparently almost got it, and then finally, COVID happened, and it just pushed it back again. And so now, we are finally receiving this damn movie. And I remember hanging the poster up for this movie 2 years ago, and then taking it right back down. The New Mutants. This brand new 2020 film from the director of Fault in Our Stars. Did not know that he did this movie. Comes this brand new horror kind of X-Men movie, which again has been through hell and back again, and we are finally here to review this movie. And my god, all the hype and talk about it. Will it even make money this weekend? I have no idea. I did get to go see it into a theater tonight, and I walked in this movie very much just like, let's see what you got. This film stars Anna Taylor-Joy, Maisie Williams, Charlie Heaton, Blue Hunt, and Henry Zaga, and is about a teenage group of mutants trying to come grips with their superpowers while staying at a secret facility. I went with my friend tonight to watch this movie, and my friend was hyped for this movie. Like, he has been wanting to see this movie forever. He actually read the comics, and he knew these characters, and he knew like what this horror genre could do for these characters. So he was stoked for it. And when we walked in this movie theater, the only thing that he was worried about, he said, 94 minutes long. That doesn't seem long enough for this kind of story. And so with me, I know nothing. All I know, it has something to do with X-Men, and I don't even know if this movie counts anymore because Disney now owns it. So I literally just walked in there as a regular audience member watching a comic book horror film. And I was excited because, you know, horror, and I love me some horror, you guys know that. So I had that hype to me. But then after watching this movie, I said to myself, that was it? All this talk and chatter, and that was it? And apparently, the reshoots never happened? So this movie, the way we see it tonight in theaters, was the way we're supposed to get it in 2018? And I say, that is a fucking lie. I'll go ahead and start with my positives. First things first, from the director of Fault in Our Stars making this movie, I think he did a good job because he did bring in his genre of like teenage angst, and he added the mutants and X-Men ability to the storyline, which it felt fresh, it felt new, and I really liked that. And when it did have its little horror elements, like just images of scary images and stuff like that, I was into it because it felt new, it felt different. It had the claustrophobia, phobe of being in this hospital, or is it a hospital? Is it a prison? We don't know. And these 5 teenagers who are just trying to figure out their powers, they're experiencing new abilities. The one girl that we meet who is brand new to this whole thing, she doesn't even know who her powers are, and she's got to learn it through these teenagers who are mean, nice to them, and just completely scared of her. So getting into the story, it felt fresh / new, and I was totally in for it. But then that's all the movie offers. That's it. Again, the movie's 95 minutes long, and the movie doesn't really start to pick up until after the 50-minute mark, at least. Now again, I would say the 5 teenagers in this movie, Blue Hunt, who plays Danny in this movie, she was solid. I really liked her in this movie. I really liked Maisie Williams and what they did with her character and her relationship with Danny. I liked that a lot. The other characters, they were fine. Anna Taylor-Joy is basically that bitch, basically, with superpowers who's just basically mean. The guy from Stranger Things, which I forget his name at the moment, he's just a southern boy who got superpowers, and he loses his accent every once in a while. I was like, oh, there's that accent. And then there's this other kid who is just the rich boy, and we don't really wonder why he's there until like later in the movie. But the movie sets up these characters with such a predictability, and we're just sitting there thinking, where are we going with this? I know we're setting up these characters and stuff. We have good character moments, but I think this movie lacks on character development, and this is where I get to my biggest issue. You're telling me there wasn't any reshoot. Okay, well, not the reshoots. You're telling me that the studio didn't cut scenes or anything like that? I call bullshit. The reason why, the first 10 minutes, we experience boom, 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 boom. And there's certain scenes where the actors are acting, and they're acting like a way where they hate a certain character. The next shot / scene, this character is liking that character. You're telling me there's not a scene in between? If that is the way it is, the script is horrible in developing these characters. I think this movie just lacks in character development. We have good actors. All 5 of these actors are fine in this movie. They do their job. Yes, they lose their accents every other thing. They have their coolish moments, but my God, this movie just rushes through these characters, and we never get that great character development. We get good character moments that help us like them and stuff, but we never get to delve deep in them. The only character I can really say that got that was Macy Williams and the girl Danny's relationship. That was the only one that I actually felt like we got deep into. Everyone else's, we're just scene, flashback scene, boom, 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 and then we're just moving on to this movie, and then this is where we get into my another con. Not a single thing in this movie scared me. Not a single thing. There's not one frightening image or anything in this movie that really just, There's a scene where there's a certain character that has a different kind of form, whatever, but the CGI was lacking, in my opinion, to where I wasn't scared or intense or nothing. And by the end of this movie, it should turn into an action movie. I wouldn't even consider this movie a horror genre. Not even. I would say it's more of an adult superhero movie with action. But no, I would not put this in a horror genre at all. It is not scary at all. Overall, I think the performances in these 5 teenagers are the best thing about this movie. I want them to be in other movies because I want more development with these characters. I like the situation they put them in. I like this whole what they were trying to do with this movie, but I feel like the studio got their fingers in this movie and it just fucked everything up. The editing is pretty bad. The dialogue is so trash. I hated it. There is terrible one-liners very in this movie. If you're looking for this horror genre, do not go in this movie thinking that. This movie is morely action with terrible comedy, and I mean awful comedy. Overall, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I would say it is the most finest of fine X-Men movie. It's still better than Dark Phoenix in my opinion, but I do not care to ever watch this movie again. I will give The New Mutants a D+. I just think it's kind of funny with how much time and pressure was on this movie, the reshoots, getting pushed back, and then it finally come out, and it is just fine. But to be fair, with all of its pressure and stuff to come out, at least it came out, at least it got released in the theaters, and at least I got to see it. But overall, it definitely feels like a total just like kind of movie. Again, it's not awful, it's just, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everyone.